Like it or not, Jet fans, there is a fire sale coming. At the time of this recording, there are 26 days left before the trade deadline on November 4th, and the Jets are winless, and we have the number 1 overall pick. Depending on when you watch this video, there are about 3 games left before the trade deadline. And if the Jets lose all of them, or, let's be honest, if they even win one of them or 2 of them, there should be a fire sale. The team needs to get rid of some players that either have expiring contracts, bad contracts, or guys that just don't fit the scheme you're trying to run on offense and defense. There's a lot of Saleh and Douglas leftovers on this team that unfortunately just don't fit. The Jets are at the bottom of the league of scoring. They're at the bottom of the league of allowing scoring. And Darren Mougey and Aaron Glenn are under just a ton of pressure to make it work. And the only way they're going to make it work, in my opinion, is to get rid of just about everybody. So let's go through the top 3 guys that I would get rid of immediately. Michael Carter II is unfortunately not the player that he used to be. He used to be the best slot corner in the league. In 2023, he had 258 total yards in 15 games. That was about 17.2 yards per game, and that led the league by far. And he got extended for his work. He was a very, very good slot corner. But unfortunately, last year, he was out for a lot of the season with injury. And this year, he's allowed 9 of 13 completions. That's almost 70%, and 123 yards. And he's given up 20-plus yard plays in 4 straight games. The writing's on the wall. There are teams out there that would absolutely take him. The Baltimore Ravens are one that I would point to. They need help in the slot. The Dallas Cowboys have not been the same since Jordan Lewis left. And for the Jets' perspective, they have guys that are here that are probably, right now, better than Michael Carter II. The first person, obviously, is Jarvis Brownlee Jr., who they just traded for, and he's only 24 years old. A.Z. Thomas, 3rd-round pick this season. Quintez Stiggers, 2024 pick. We don't know what he's going to be, but he's actually found a role on special teams. If they were to cut him post-June 1st, they could save almost $9 million in cap space in 2026. But his current contract, he's got 2 years left. It's a team-friendly contract. You have to try and get something for him. It could be a 4th-round pick. It could be a 5th-round pick. Probably more like a 5th round, maybe a 5th or 6th-round pick swap. Whatever it is, whatever you can get for him, you have to do it. Because he's not contributing the way you would have expected him to after being paid, after that great 2023 season. He's just not the player you thought he was. He hasn't been the same since he's got injured. And unfortunately, I think the team has to move on from him. So that's the first guy gone, Michael Carter II. I've said it multiple times on this channel. The Jets do not have a legitimate wide receiver 2. Now, they did try and fill that hole with Josh Reynolds. They signed him to a 1-year, $2.75 fully guaranteed contract. But unfortunately, injuries have kept him out 2 out of the last 5 games. And with the Jets being such a run-heavy team, the only time that they're actually throwing the ball, the few times that they are, Garrett Wilson is eating up 65% of those catches, 48 of 74. And the rest are mostly checkdowns to rookie Mason Taylor and Breece Hall. When they brought Josh Reynolds in, they were hoping that he could, go back to his 2023 form with the Lions when Aaron Glenn was there, where he had 600 yards, 5 touchdowns, 15.2 yards per catch, and he was the clear wide receiver 2 for Jared Goff. But unfortunately, it just hasn't materialized the way they want it to. When he is healthy, he's getting 79% of the snaps, but he's only been targeted 9 times the entire season. It hasn't worked out. He cannot separate the way he used to. And honestly, I want to see what Arian Smith can do. That's personally what I want to see. Because with a 4th-round pick invested in Arian Smith, you need to kind of see what he's going to be. He is a very good run blocker. So I could see teams like San Francisco picking him up. I could see teams like Green Bay picking him up. The realistic return on him is going to be like a 6th or 7th late round pick, especially since if teams really, really want Josh Reynolds, which I don't think anybody's out there, clamoring for Josh Reynolds, they can just wait until the offseason because the Jets are clearly not going to re-sign him. It's a 1-year contract for just shy of $3 million. It's easier for a team to just wait if they really want Josh Reynolds. And again, nobody's banging down the door for Josh Reynolds. In this case, not only would you clearly get something back for a player who isn't producing, but you would shift at least the targets and the snaps to Arian Smith, which would be the correct approach. Put Arian Smith in the wide receiver 2 spot and see what he can do. If he helps, he helps. If he doesn't help, the offense isn't really doing any better than it was before because 9 total targets over 5 games is next to nothing. The Jets barely use a wide receiver 2 as it is. So I see the move as more of a reallocation of reps than it is so much getting something back for Josh Reynolds. The upside is we get to see Arian Smith play more and we get to see what he can actually do. He is a raw talent. He's very fast. He's got to work on his route running, but the only way you're going to get better is with real reps. So that's the next guy gone. Josh Reynolds, basically swap him out for Arian Smith. I get it. Quincy Williams is kind of a fan favorite, but unfortunately, I think his time here is going to come to an end. In 2023, Joe Douglas re-signed him to a 3-year, $18 million contract, and he outperformed that deal with a Pro Bowl season. Career high in tackles for loss, and sacks. But this offseason, the Jets decided to not extend him again, and instead gave a contract to Jamien Sherwood for 3 years, $45 million, more than double the money than they paid Quincy. And you could make the argument that Quincy is the better linebacker. So far in these first 5 games, Jamien Sherwood has not been good at all. But this video is about Quincy. This is about Sherwood. We can go on and on about Sherwood, but focusing on Quincy, his missed tackle rate is about 23.5%, which is his highest since 2020. He got placed on IR in week 3 for his shoulder, which means we're not going to see him at least until week 8. He's 29 years old. He's going to be hitting 30 soon. And linebackers in today's NFL, they just don't age well because you need to be able to stop the run clearly, but you got to be able to cover these fast tight ends and running backs out of the backfield. And I don't think Quincy is going to be able to keep up with them. He's very unlikely to be re-signed in 2026. So while his stock is high right now, you have to try and move on from him and get something. And you have guys on the roster that you drafted. You have Mauigoa out of Miami, I believe it was. He's getting some early reps. He has struggled, but you're not going to know what this guy really is until real bullets are flying and you see how he's able to react to actual gameplay. The linebacker room is just not good in general. Our starting linebackers right now are Sherwood and Mauigoa, and it hasn't looked good. But Quincy Williams, in his current form, is not going to move the needle in the future. And I don't think the Jets are going to re-sign him to a contract like Sherwood, because Quincy can go in and say, hey, I'm better than Sherwood. You gave him $45 million. I want a contract that is comparable. And the Jets just can't afford it. They can't do that. They kind of screwed up with this Sherwood deal. I mean, I hope Sherwood turns it around, but he hasn't yet. Colts, Cowboys, Buccaneers, Steelers, Vikings, Bills, all teams that are over 500 and have poor linebacker play that could really use a guy like Quincy on a short deal. Realistically, we're looking at maybe a 5th-round pick, maybe a conditional 6th-round pick. Who knows? But the team is not trying to win now. Okay, we are going to be, like I said in the beginning of the video, this is going to be a fire sale. And unfortunately, Quincy, a veteran linebacker, I think he's going to find a soft spot somewhere else. It's tough, guys. I understand it. You see these guys play over the last few years and you kind of become attached to them. But these are guys that need to move on. Not so much getting attached to Josh Reynolds because he was here for a blink of an eye, really. But these are the first three guys that I would get rid of. Now, you can make an argument that you can get a haul for a lot of other players on this team. Breece Hall is the first one that comes to mind. I don't want to see Breece Hall go anywhere, but realistically, the team may have to make some pragmatic decisions here, and they may have to move on from guys that we have come to know and love as Jets. The only way this team is going to get better is if you get out of some bad contracts, you get out of these expiring contracts. The Jets have 30 expiring contracts. There's the potential there to use those assets to build the team in the future. Use those assets to get draft picks and pick guys that can fit your scheme, are culture builders, and are going to go to war with you. And right now, especially on defense, these guys, I'm sorry, they're not good enough right now to compete against top teams. They're not. You are what your record says you are. We are 0-5. We have the number 1 overall pick. It is what it is. The only way this is going to get better is if you let Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey put the guys in that they think are going to give the team the best chance to win. And you may disagree with me and say these guys can't pick anybody. You don't know that yet. I don't know that yet. They've had only one offseason. And particularly in this draft, I will say that a lot of the scouts, a lot of the work that was done on this draft class was done by guys who worked under Joe Douglas. Now, Darren Mougey is kind of removing those guys, putting in the scouts that he wants, putting in the front office he wants. And I hope you would see better players come through the draft and play on the Jets than have been in previous years. That's the only way this is going to get better. You always have to build through the draft. You always do. That's the only way these teams like the Eagles, like the Ravens, are able to be consistent winners year in, year out. It's the only way this is going to get fixed. This is not getting fixed overnight. This was not a win now team. Aaron Glenn is kind of walking that back a little bit now in some of his recent press conferences. Maybe he realized, maybe he talked a little too quickly there. But you don't know how guys are going to react until they're actually in game time situations. You can have all the best practices you want, but you don't know how guys are going to react until they're in game time situations, till there's only 2 minutes left on the clock and you have to stop somebody to win a game. And if you can't do it, I'm sorry, you cannot be here. And that is the realistic decisions that Darren Mougey and Aaron Glenn have to make. There is a rebuild coming. There is a fire sale coming. And I hope we're going to have an exciting draft come April. Let me know what you guys think.